Welcome to Reddit Blue Pill, Red Pill, where we go over Reddit stories and predict the outcome of the stories. Please listen and play along by typing in your choices into the comments. There are 5 seconds to answer, or you can pause the video. Today we have a story about a wife who threw away a sentimental object from her husband's previous marriage. All right, let's get on to the story.
I am writing this because I don't know what to do. I have a daughter with my late wife, and her name is Eleanor. Her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks, and she's turning 18. Background: me and my late wife, Chloe, have been dating since college. We got older and ended up getting married. And after our wedding, she shared news to me that she was pregnant, and I was excited that we were expecting our first child. Since it was our first child, we bought a video camera and made little tapes and snippets of our whole pregnancy. Wholesome things such as us just joking around or having lunch or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise to only show Eleanor the tapes until her 18th birthday. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away due to a drunk driver crashing into her car as she was coming home from her mother's house. I was devastated of her passing and went into a deep depression and having to raise our 2-year-old daughter by myself. My friends tried to get me to go out again and start back dating, but every time I did, I felt like I was betraying her.
The OP is a father and his daughter is about to turn 18, and he has a video recording of his late wife that he plans to gift her. We do not know what the problem is yet, but I assume it has something to do with his daughter and the video of his late wife. The OP has remained single for a long time afterwards, feeling guilty of moving on. His daughter lost her mother at 2 years old, so she must have very little memory of her mother, and this video will surely be a very sentimental gift. It seems the OP kept his promise of saving the video for his daughter's 18th birthday, which shows his continued commitment to her memory. There are no questions here, so let's continue with the story.
Years later, when Eleanor was 13, I met Wendy. We met at a gathering for my sister's birthday, and we instantly hit it off. She didn't mind that I had a daughter because she had 2 kids herself and just went through a divorce. 2 years after we got married, now back to the present, Eleanor's 18th birthday is coming up, and I kept all the tapes for me to show her. Mind you, her mother died when she was just 2, so Eleanor doesn't remember her touch or her voice. I was excited to show her the tapes, and a week ago I was talking to Wendy about it, and I noticed her expression going from happy to looking a bit uncomfortable. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talk about my late wife. I don't say things like, "Why can't you be like Chloe?" or "Chloe was only supposed to be my first love," but I talk about her in a way to give my daughter a mental picture of how her mother was like. Wendy has always talked to me about Chloe and how it made her sad that she can never be like her. Chloe was a model, then started working on her fashion career, and don't get me wrong, she was a really beautiful woman. While Wendy had 2 kids in college and not in the best shape due to her words. I love both women how they are, and I've never had a preference, but I feel like Wendy is gaining some jealousy towards Chloe. I told Wendy that I love her just the way she was, and she broke down crying.
The OP finally met someone new after 10 years and they married. His current wife seems to be jealous of his late wife, although the OP claims to not compare them. But I wonder if this is in fact true. While not deliberately meaning to compare his late wife to his new wife, the OP may say things that trigger his new wife. Or it could be that the OP does not talk about his late wife unless he is speaking to his daughter about her, and his current wife is irrationally jealous. Also, speaking about exes can be a tricky subject. Many people may consider it rude or inconsiderate if someone talks about their past partners, so maybe his current wife holds this view. But how can the OP stop talking about his late wife completely? His daughter must ask him about her a lot, and the OP has the right to answer back, even if his current wife may feel jealous, right? What do you think? If you think it's best to try not to speak about past partners, type Q1 blue in the comments. If you believe it is fine to speak about past partners as you choose, type Q1 red.
The next day after that incident, she came up to me and apologized for the way she acted last night. I told her it was okay, and it's good that she felt comfortable to share her feelings, and I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on her forehead. She asked to see where the tapes were at, and I showed her the box of videotapes of my late wife in my closet. Things were going fine until yesterday morning. I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter, and when I went to go find them, the box wasn't in my closet. I looked everywhere, to the point I walked downstairs to see my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box, and she told me she threw it away with a neutral expression. My heart dropped, and I asked her what did she mean, and she told me that I talk about her too much and that I need to move on with my life, so she threw them away as a head start. I was fuming with anger because not only she threw away what I had left of her, she threw away my daughter's big surprise. We quickly got into an argument, and she noticed how angry I was, so she started apologizing. It got to the point I started crying and locked myself in our bedroom.
His wife apologized and immediately asked to see the old tapes of the OP's late wife. She used the apology as a way to find the tapes and later throw them away, so it's safe to say she apologized as a way to find the tapes. The OP is justifiably angry at his wife for not only throwing away the last remaining tangible memory of his late wife, but also threw away the gift he was going to give his daughter of her late mother on her 18th birthday. While it's understandable to take the OP's side on this, does his current wife have a point about the OP talking about his late wife too much? The OP may say that he doesn't talk about his late wife all that often, or that he only talks about her if his daughter wants to hear more about her, but maybe he doesn't see that he really is talking about her way too often and making his current wife feel like she is living under the shadow of someone she can never live up to. For his current wife to go to this length of throwing away his old tapes, doesn't that show how desperate she must have felt? Or am I being too generous and his current wife is just nuts? What do you think? If you think the wife had the right to throw the OP's tapes away if she felt she was being compared to a dead woman all the time, type Q2 red in the comments. If you think the wife was in the wrong for throwing away the tapes, regardless of how she feels like she is being compared to the OP's late wife, type Q2 blue.
It's the morning, and I'm writing this in my office, going through my computer, finding old files or any type of video of my late wife to give it to my daughter because sometimes my daughter still cries that she never got to meet her mother, and I really thought it would bring her closer to her. I've been ignoring my wife for the past day, and she's been texting me nonstop about how sorry she is, but I really just can't look at her right now. It's getting to the point our mutual friends are texting me to accept her apology and get over it, since Chloe died over 10 years ago. But I'm trying to ignore them all because they never had someone so close to them die. I'm working on finding these files, and I'm starting to think I was overreacting. I don't know what to do, and I really need help.
The OP is giving his wife the silent treatment for what she did. The wife has apologized, but given that she previously used an apology in order to find out where the tapes were, then it would be hard for anyone to trust her apology now. I think she is sorry that what she did affected the OP so much, and she is worried he may divorce her over it. The OP hasn't said anything about divorce, so it seems things have not escalated to that point, but his opinion may change with the comments to his story. We have come to the conclusion of the story and have to decide who is the a-hole. If you think the wife is the a-hole for throwing out the OP's videos of his late wife, type Q3 red in the comments. If you think the OP is the a-hole for talking about his ex-wife constantly to his current wife, type Q3 blue. Now let's listen to a few comments.
Dear Lord, I'm honestly not one to advocate for divorce, but I do not think I could continue a relationship with someone who did something so wildly despicable. That isn't jealousy, that's a mental disorder. She stole the only vestiges of your wife that your daughter will have. This is not something you come back from or she can apologize for. This is a line in the sand.
This isn't even a mental disorder. This is cruelty. Her terrible behavior doesn't even deserve an excuse. She threw away the only physical memories that this girl would ever have of her mother. Ever. Because she's jealous of a ghost? OP, get divorced. Leave. For your daughter. Because this will never stop. She isn't sorry. She's sorry you're upset and that you're mad at her. Leave her.
Not the a-hole, but your new wife is. To act sorry about throwing a tantrum, then using your sympathy/empathy to show her the videos just so she can throw them away out of spite, especially knowing your plans for them with your daughter. She'd be my ex-wife real soon if I were in your shoes.
Not the a-hole. WTF. I'm a widow, and I'm going to be completely blunt here. I could not share my life with someone so heinous as to throw something so precious and irreplaceable. This is unforgivable. I'd pack my call a lawyer, and only communicate through the lawyer. Anyone saying you're wrong can fuck right off. What she's done is show an incredibly huge amount of disrespect for you, your daughter, and your marriage. She destroyed what would have been one of the most important, memorable moments in your daughter's life. This goes way beyond just throwing tapes away. WTF, there's no coming back from this.
These tapes would have been cherished for the rest of her life. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'd be able to move on from this. She needs to go to the dump and find them.
This was so evil. I never tell people go for divorce, but this woman is making my blood boil. Her action is pure evil. She robbed the one gift your daughter has from her mother. This woman has no heart. None. This is unforgivable. I will never, ever forgive a person for that. Edit. The most evil part is she used your vulnerability to ask you where the tapes are, so she can throw them away. She planned this. She is f***ing evil.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching all the way to the end and participating. Please consider liking and subscribing to watch future videos. Goodbye.